Hi, this is me changing the power steering pump out on my X-Type Jaguar. If you know what you're doing, it'll take maybe 10 minutes. I don't, so it took me probably twice that. So remove the engine cover and air filter, and then with a 10mm socket, remove the bracket on the power steering pipe as it also holds the belt cover on. There's a little clip there as well. This is kind of diving into the engine bay on the belt tensioner. There's a 3/4 inch square hole for releasing the tension. I guess it's a proper tool, but I'm probably only ever doing this once. So I used a 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter on my breaker bar. The tensioner isn't particularly heavy, but I like my fingers and I didn't know what weight it was when I started. Next is the EGR pipe bracket. There's a couple of bolts holding everything together and I needed this out of the way to be able to feed the new belt in. I was perhaps overly careful removing the old belt in one piece so that I knew what to do feeding the new belt in. If I was going to get it wrong and nip and damage the belt, I wanted it to be on the old one destined for the bin and not the new one on its way in. That means if you're confident in the path for the new one going in, you could just snip the old one and save yourself a load of time. I was also very careful not to get my fingers on the inside of the belt, especially in places where the belt meets the pulley. Dropping back in, kind of wiggling to get a good view. The gap where my ring finger is sitting is where the belt feeds in and out. I checked the new one is a similar width and length to the old one. No point in finding out it's wrong after I've got it in place. My new belt didn't have a direction marked on it. I couldn't tell if the old one did as it was starting to perish a little. I think the top of the belt runs towards the front of the car, so the belt turns anti-clockwise. So I fed the new one in reverse to how I wiggled the old one out, released the tensioner for the final fit. I'd read over the service history and this belt could well have been the original, so 12 to 13 years old. I think they should be done every 10 years or 100,000 miles, but you might want to double check that. Mine was starting to look a bit perish, not close to failing, but I was certainly happy I was doing it now before it became a problem. Refit all the brackets and then check there's no bits left over. There is an auxiliary belt on the other side of the engine with a similar service schedule to this one. I can see mine had been done a few years ago, but it's definitely on my list of things to do. Thanks for watching. I think my next X-Type video will probably wait until it's a bit warmer outside, so if you want to be pestered with infrequent and irrelevant updates, please click subscribe.